Hi there, my name is Matthew. I'm currently a Year 5 teacher at Wayfield Primary School in Medway. This presentation is all about promoting good progress and will focus on the question, within your teaching, how do you ensure your pupils make good progress? This presentation has been broken down into 5 distinct areas so that you can fast forward, rewind or pause when you need to. These 5 sections are: how do we scaffold new knowledge upon prior learning without overloading working memory? How do you break down complex material into smaller steps? How do you sequence lessons into a clear learning journey? How do you give opportunities to children so that they can link content? And finally, how do you create challenge for all learners? At Wayfield, we have adopted a flipped classroom model. This approach allows us to be able to engage with learners before they enter the classroom. On the left-hand side, you can see a traditional model where children would start remembering and understanding once they're in the classroom. However, because of our flipped classroom approach, children at Wayfield will start learning at home the night before, bring that prior knowledge into the classroom, and then immediately start applying and analysing what they know. This 6-step timeline shows how children engage with their learning at Wayfield and continue to progress. They begin at the remembering stage, move then to understanding, start applying that knowledge in the classroom, will analyse it in a collaborative culture and environment, then they will move on to the evaluating and creating stage. As you can see, teamwork and collaboration is key to the flipped learning model. Here are some more examples of children using the flipped learning model. As you can see, we are ensuring that the children don't feel like they are overloaded in their working memory by accessing prior learning before they enter the classroom. An example of the Bloom's taxonomy model is shown for reference. At Wayfield, we break down complex material into smaller steps by having clear plans about the direction of the curriculum and material we're about to teach. Here you can see an example of a long-term plan across the year. Then, each term is broken down into more manageable chunks. As you can see here, I have broken it down into reading for pleasure, writing, mathematics, science, arts and culture, and sport. This ensures that we sequentially meet all of the curriculum objectives each term and continue to build and develop prior knowledge. This example is from a standard lesson in Year 5 for mathematics. It is a cold task and designed to get the children ready for their maths learning. Children use their iPads for a 5-minute task. In this case, it was about refreshing their knowledge on the powers of 10. The app that they were using was called Maths Shed. The second phase of this learning sequence focuses on Flashback 4. This is where children will use their knowledge of the 4 operations, plus, subtract, multiply and divide, to solve some quick mental arithmetic questions. It is an excellent opportunity for children to identify misconceptions, but also for children to demonstrate the variety of methods that they are using in order to solve different mathematical questions. The third phase in this learning sequence is called In Focus. Children would have completed a task as part of their home learning. They will then bring this task into the classroom and we will discuss it as a group. This is an excellent opportunity for teachers to identify where children are perhaps misunderstanding the question or where they have misconceptions. Teachers can then adjust their lesson accordingly, focusing on particular areas that the majority of children have found difficult or challenging. The fourth phase in this sequence is called Guided Practice. This is when the teacher will use clear modelling and some examples to show children the correct method to solve the problem. The teacher will also use some direct questioning to ensure that children are understanding each step within the process. The next phase of the learning sequence is called varied fluency. It is an opportunity for children to start applying what they have learnt more independently. The question may challenge them by asking them to apply the same method in a slightly different context. This not only gives the children a sense of independence, but hopefully builds up their confidence before they enter the final question. The final phase within this math sequence is always about reasoning. Children have to reason what they know to demonstrate real fluency. The reasoning element also gives an excellent opportunity for you as a teacher to test and stretch those children working at a greater depth. You may ask them to demonstrate their thinking through diagrams, or perhaps to use a greater array of more specific mathematical vocabulary. You're about to watch two videos that show how children at Wayfield are actively involved in creating our curriculum. During a module on local history, children were asking about the meaning and significance of particular tattoos that were used by sailors that work at the Rochester docks. The second video was inspired by a group of children who had recently begun watching a Netflix series. We were doing a module on character development, and so it seemed like an excellent opportunity to explore the idea of disguises and how even though all the characters are portrayed by one man, they are distinct because of particular physical and emotional features or characteristics.
Look away, look away, look away, look away. The show will wreck your evening, your whole life and your day. Every single episode is nothing but dismay. So look away, look away, look away. Three children lose their home and go to live with someone awful. He tries to steal their fortune with a plot that's not quite lawful. It's hard to fathom how the orphans manage to live through it, or how a decent person like yourself would even want to view it. Just look away, look away. There's nothing but horror and inconvenience on the way. Ask any stable person, should I watch, and they will say, look away, 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 look away.
Creating challenge for all learners is in itself a challenge. Different children need to be stretched in different ways in order to realise their potential. These images highlight how children are stretched in a variety of ways. We've done this by creating a strong culture around 5 core values. Those values are teamwork, joy, lifelong learning, resilience, and adventure. Rather than telling you all the ways that children are stretched and challenged at Wayfield, here are some pictures of the children in Year 5 doing what they do best. Thank you very much for listening and watching this presentation. I hope it helped in your own development as a teacher. If you would like to visit Wayfield Primary School, please do just get in touch. We'd love to see you.